Hello, welcome back to Python programming tutorial series. In this particular video, we will talk about range function. And here we will cover the theory part, also practical part, and we will solve 3 questions based on this concept. So let's start. First of all, we will know about what is range function. The range function returns a sequence of number starting from 0 by default, and it increments by 1 by default and stops before a specified number. Now we'll see the syntax of range function. So we have to specify the range keyword, and inside the bracket we have to specify from where to start, where to end, and the steps. Here the start is optional, and start is an integer number specifying at which position to start, and by default the start value is 0. And remember that this is optional. Stop is required. This is not optional. Stop is an integer number specifying at which position to stop, and that position or that number will not be included. And step, this is also optional, and step is an integer number specifying the increment, and default value is 1. Now we'll go to the practical portion, and this parameter table is for your reference. You can take a note or take a screenshot for reference. Now we will go to the practical example. So the syntax of range function is range, then you have to specify start, which is 0 by default, and specify the stop and the step. By default the step will be 1. So if you run it, it will give you a range function with value 0 to 3. If you want to check the type of this, take a variable, then take a variable myVar and just specify this myVar inside the type and just run, and you will able to see that this is our range. So still now I not printed the range here. So if you want to print, then you have to print with a for loop. For that you have to write the for loop, then specify a variable I in, and then here give a variable name myRange, and then equal to your range, and specify here your range name, and then after that print your I. Then it will print the range from 0 to 3, and the steps here or the increment will be 1 here. If you run it, this time it will give a syntax error, because here you have to specify this symbol, colon symbol, and then run, it will give 0 1 2. So the start and incrementation part or the step here is optional. So if you will only specify range 3, it will give the same result 0 to 2. And remember that this stop is essential or required, but it will not include this 3 up to 3, but it will take 3 minus 1, that is 2. So if you want to take a range from 0 to 4, then you have to specify here 5, then it will print 0 to 4 like this. And if you want to give the step as 2, then it will step over with 2, and mention the starting here, start point, and please run it. You'll be able to see that first it will print 0, then it will take the step as 2, 0 plus 2 equals to 2, then it will again step over 2, that is 2 plus 2, that is 4, and this is our stop. So that is why it is stopping only up to 3. So if you'll make it bigger number or up to 10, and if you'll run it, it will go to up to 8. And if you will specify here 11 here and step will be 2, then it will print up to 0 to 10, where the steps you can see 2. So I hope this is clear for you. Now we will solve 3 problems. So this is our first question. Create a sequence of numbers from 0 to 5 and print each item in the sequence. So remember that 0 to 5 only. So this is our question. You have to specify range, and here 0 and 5, and our range step will be 1. And if you want to print the sequence, you have to give a for loop I in, and you have to give it, you can directly give a variable name here, my range 1, and then equal sign, and specify the range here, and you then print your I. And if you run again, I did the same mistake, just run here and you will be able to see that here is our result. And if you want to take the each and every variable in a same line, you can do that by doing end equals to and just specify special. If you run that, you will be able to see the output in the same line. And another easy process I can show you, that if you don't want like this one extra variable, you can also do that directly. You can copy your range and you can paste here in this line, and if you run that, you will be able to see the same output. Now we'll go to the next question. Here is our second question. So this is our second question. Create a sequence of number from 4 to 6 and print each item in the sequence 4 to 6. So this is our result. So I'm just copying the code from the above lines, and here you can see 4 to 8. Here the start is 4 only and our end is 6 and the step is 1. So if you will run 4 and 6, if you want to print 6 also, then you have to specify 7 here and just run 4, 5 and 6. And our third question is create a sequence of number from 4 to 20 but the increment by 2 instead of 1. This is our third question. Create a sequence of number from 4 to 20 but increment by 2 instead of 1. If you want to see the output, it will be look like this. So now we'll go to the Jupyter notebook and we will develop this code. So I'm just copying the above code again and pasting it here, and this time 4 to 20, and here the step will be 2. So if you'll run it, it will give 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, the step here 2. But if you want to see the output up to 20, then you have to specify here 21 and you just run it. Here is our result. So I hope this is clear for you. So in this video we have just covered range function, theory part, practical example with question answers. So that's it for today. See you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.